I'll go ahead and start, and I do want to say I'm going to be extremely critical, guys. I'm going to be extremely critical of Cole. I think, all right, we go to Friday, 11 p.m. Album drops, 24 tracks. Holy shit. Off the rip, I gave it a whole first listen immediately. 11 p.m., I gave it a full 24 track listen. I woke up the next morning. I gave it another 24 track listen throughout my day at work. As we sit here on Sunday evening for the Monday podcast, I'm probably a good 4 to 5 listens into J. Cole's album. And I think every bar on this album is of fucking A+ tier. I think J. Cole, without telling everybody I'm the best to ever do this shit, comes out on every track and raps extraordinarily. I think I don't have anything bad to say about the way this nigga raps. What I will say, side one, I'm not the biggest fan of.
29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Side 29, of course, the first part is side 29, the second part is side 39. Side 29, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's sequenced poorly. I don't think it's sequenced great. I honestly don't think side 39 is sequenced the best, but I think side 39 accurately depicts the fall off better than side 29 does. How would you say the sequencing was on it, Corey?
I think it's sequenced well.
Okay.
Every track, well, not every track, but as far as the story, I feel like he was trying to tell from side A to side B. I feel like, there's always like a little outro leading into the next, kind of like a skit leading into the next song and things like that. So me personally, I'm not critical of the sequencing at all. Just like you, just to start from the beginning though, just like you, 11 o'clock Thursday night Central Time for us. I'm listening all the way through 24 tracks, right? So you finish the album close to 1.
Yeah, 1:30-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to sleep, wake up, just like you, play it at least one more time, maybe twice on Friday, the actual day. And it's funny because on my initial listen, 39 was my favorite. I was like, damn, I really fuck with 39.
39 is my favorite.
But I'm sitting here today to tell you that it's flipped for me. Currently at this moment, 29 has become my favorite. So I just feel like it's probably going to go back and forth for me. But yeah, just to answer your question, I'll let you go back and we'll continue to ping pong. The sequencing is something that I'm not critical of. I think it was sequenced well.
I think I'm very critical of the sequencing. I do understand the outros, but I do think there are points where we just get totally different vibed songs back to back. Like I don't. That's what I mean by the sequencing. I think the moods of the songs jump quickly. 2-6 straight into safety, those things like that. And then we go on a whole B-side-ish run and jump right back into Who the Fuck Is You. Like I just, some of these I wasn't a fan of. Before I even go further, I just want to give my whole thought on the album so it doesn't seem like straight hate.
Okay.
I feel like I have no middle ground for J. Cole. I feel like I either judge him really critically based off of his performance, or I have a bias on how much I love him, and I don't judge him. I think this album's really good. However, I do sometimes feel like J. Cole slips back into the same thing that I always say J. Cole slips back into, which is rapping really well, but I don't feel like for something that was angled as a concept album really totally followed being a concept album. Man, man, it's gonna sound like I'm throwing hate at Cole, and I'm not throwing hate at Cole because I love the album.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these beats, besides maybe 2 or 3 of them, are good. I think he picked the average beats, and I think J. Cole gets to rest on how good he is at rapping. That niggas aren't even really thinking about the beats. Fall Off is inevitable. Amazing beat. Man Up Above, amazing beat. There's a couple more that I think are really good beats, but the rest of them I think are pretty basic. Bombs in the Veil, I think that beat's horrible. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think he rapped his ass off on it, and I think it turns into a bit of a better beat. But when y'all turn that on, that shit sounds like it came off YouTube. Safety, amazing track. Run a Train, amazing track. Poor Thing, amazing. Legacy, amazing. Bunts Road Blues, huge fan of. Bombs Hit the Ville. Like I said, I don't like the beat, but I think that song's really great. Lonely at the Top. I talked about that in our group chat. I think that's honestly one of the best J. Cole songs I've ever heard. And when all of those songs that I just named, I feel like really, really stick down on the fall off angle. I don't think there's so much that gets clouded with the J. Cole album because he raps so well. I think every single one of these tracks are good, but I have skips for me. I'm trying to think about where I put them. 2-6 is a hit. I know they're already playing that on the radio. Like I played it. I turned on the radio. They're already playing that a lot. I don't think 2-6 is one of my favorites, but I know why it's on the album. It's his hometown. It's angled to be like a lead from it. Who the Fuck Is You? That's another one that's the same way. But for me, when I'm playing the track, I feel like when we talk about the fall off angle, I feel like it's a bit unnecessary. I feel like there's nothing really in it that really is toward the concept of the album. I feel the same way about Drum and Bass. And I feel that way about the Let Out. But I'm just not a huge fan right now of Side 29. I got to keep listening. This is something I'm just going to keep listening over and over because J. Cole's a favorite of mine.
Right.
Side 39, that's the one that I feel like J. Cole put his whole heart into Side 39. Like that's the J. Cole I came to hear. I feel like it's a lot better sequenced. I don't really have a skip from that one besides one that it honestly pisses me off. But
Which one?
What If? That song pisses me off.
Ah, really? Okay.
I think with What If, everybody knows where he's going and everybody knows why the song's important. Like, what if Pac and what if Pac and Big would have been able to talk this shit out? We just watched Kendrick do this on Mr. Morale. He just did that song. And there's other people that have done it. For me, it's like a broken record. But the part that pisses me off about it is that you are living in this time and space, having the exact same type of quarrel with other rappers, and you could be talking about your situation with it. He could have absolutely used that track to talk about the Kendrick shit, the Drake shit. We didn't have to go play the broken record with the Pac shit. It wastes space on the album for me. That track wastes space on the album for me.
Okay.
And I feel like that track wasted space on Kendrick Lamar's album too. Why are we still talking about this shit? But the rest of it, he hit the pockets that I wanted him to hit on Side 39. It was very in the mood of fall off, love, finding this shit again, why I lost the love. Mm-hmm. But it didn't feel like J. Cole's last album to me. Like if I wanted to get the feeling when it was over, like damn. And we ain't never gonna hear this thing again. I wanted to be crying at the end of this album. I wasn't. That's maybe why I feel the way I feel.
Yeah.
Like I wanted J. Cole to make this album with a narrative that this shit over. Like I wanted something like the Jet Fuel 2009 So It Goes on the end of Mac Miller's last album. Of course he died, but like I wanted it to feel harmonious and ceremonious at the end. It just didn't to me. But I still think it's really good. It didn't feel like him wrapping up his career fully to me.
That's real.
I'm sorry, yeah, I keep going. I'm gonna let you go.
You good. Take your time, brother. I was letting you speak, man.
The last thing that I'll say is, and I said this to y'all too, Cole really, really pissed me off with no rap features. We have Tim's on there, there's Future. I think there's some vocals by Erykah Badu, production, Alchemist, Westside Gunn. But there comes a point in time, and we might have said this before, where rappers and artists reach a certain height that they no longer value what the fans want out of the music anymore. It's just what they want to make, which is cool too, because it's their production and their composition. But as a fan, I feel like the ball was 150% drop with no features. I think for a last album commercially, or at least angled as your closer, I think it was a disservice done to the fans.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it. If we talk in its entirety,
yeah,
I still need more listens to actually give it an A through F rate, just because I'm such a big fan of Cole. I don't want to rate it right now.
Sure.
But I like the album. I do like it. I'm not gonna put it in any rank or anything like that right now.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. Again, I'm gonna start from the top, starting with 29 for me. And when he was rolling out the album just last week, he gave us the preview, the track list. He gave us a story for each side and broke it down, right? So when I'm listening, and as I continue to listen, I keep that in the back of my mind. So starting with disc 29, this is 2014. Him, 7 years now, some 7, 8 years, almost 10 years away from home. Getting all the commercial success, going through, seeing all the good, bad, and ugly of the so-called rap and just Hollywood, and finally coming back home for the first time. So when I'm listening to disc 29 and I hear songs like 2-6, I hear songs like Safety, I hear songs like Bunts Road, I hear songs like Drum and Bass, The Let Out. Like it's a story of truly somebody who made it out and came back home and is dealing with the realness of being the superstar in your city, whether that be hate, whether that be love, or whether that be confusion. So when I'm listening to these songs, I get the full depiction of that. So 2-6 for me is a hit. When I first heard it, though, I didn't think it would be the lead, but now we see the music video. You said it's being played on the radio.
It is, yeah.
I've grown to love the song more now, knowing that, okay, this is the one that we're pushing first. But when I first heard it, I didn't think it was going to be the lead either. But it's the first song, second song right after the intro, but the first song that you hear. So I'm like, okay, I guess it should have been obvious for that one. Run a Train, Poor Thing, Drum and Bass, all of these songs to me, I love. I think the rap is incredible, and I think the beats are incredible. I know you say you really weren't a fan of the beats. I think those beats are super hard, bro. The bass in them, the drums in them.
I just think they're really simple.
Bunts Road Blues is an Alchemist beat, like you mentioned. I love that one. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at disc 29 as this is 2014 J. Cole, right? 29 years old, again, coming back and just reflecting on the last 7 to 10 years of my life not being in my hometown. Then when you get to disc 39, now this is him returning. This is him more mature. This is him having more years in the game, becoming a better rapper. Pen is being clearer, more sharp, more focused. He's a father. Like all of these things I'm keeping in mind as well as I'm listening to the project. And I do agree with you that disc 39 seems to be more tying in the concept of the fall off, right?
Yeah, a lot more.
When you hear songs like obviously the fall off is inevitable, Old Dog, Life Sentence, Quick Stop, which I will say I think is my favorite song on the album at this point. There's a lot of favorites that I have.
That
right?
song's amazing.
But Quick Stop is the one that pulled on my heartstring the most on the first listen. As I continue to listen, just the lyrics, man. I was the 14, 15-year-old telling my homeboys and family and cousin, like, J. Cole is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna be the one. Like, listen to this guy. I remember having like fantasies of me bumping into bro like at a gas station randomly, wherever it may be, right? Having that conversation. So when I hear Quick Stop, I'm like, damn, that was me. So I'm saying all that to say, to wrap it up, bro, like, I love the project, right? I do think it's a masterclass of rap. And once again, I think if you look at the story of what this entire project is, from obviously trying to put his hometown on, but obviously trying to show the growth and where he is and possibly falling off and this being the last, I think, yes, leading up to the album, I was expecting features because that's what we want. That's what he's shown us in the last 3, 4, 5 years since the offseason. Like, I'm working with other artists. But as I started to continue to listen to the album, this entire project is a depiction of his life from start to finish, whether it be family, whether it be developing as an artist, whether it be living in your city, up and coming, all the things that you know that you get within the story. So I asked myself, like, yeah, you may have wanted features on the album, but who else could depict and tell the so-called story of your life better than you, right?
Jay-Z.
No.
Besides you. There was a part in his
Can
life.
Can I finish?
Yeah,
can
go
I
ahead.
finish?
Go ahead.
So I'm saying, like, that's how I look at it, where I'm like, okay, I don't think you necessarily need features because you're telling the depiction of your life and nobody else can tell that story better than you. So when I look at the album, I'm like, there's not one song on here where I'm like, oh, this person would have sounded good if he got him on this song. Normally you can do that because of the way the beat sounds or the way the rap was sounding. There's not one person I looked at or thought of where I was like, hey, you know, a verse from this such guy would have been nice on this song. There was not one person.
That's true. That's true.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, we may want features from the fan perspective, and nobody is wrong for that. I'm not calling a shot at you or anybody. I get it. Leading up to the project, I sat here and had the same conversation with you, like, damn, we better get features on the album, right? But now when I listen to it, I'm like, bro, I really don't care and don't necessarily think that features were needed on the project, once again, because I think this whole story or this whole project was him telling his life story. And how can you have somebody next to you on a song trying to depict the story of your life when they didn't live it?